ultimate T'Challa is running out of time, and as he prepares for the worst, more problems just keep coming his way. So let's get into it, but first, if you're enjoying these videos, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell up top to get all notifications. Alright, so coming back, this continues from the chaotic battle in issue 23, when Anan, the Sorceress Supreme, attempted to attack the Child of Light through the astral plane, only for her to get caught in the process and completely wrecked by the progenitor who was using the child's body, which then led to a moment where both Storm and T'Challa had to bring themselves to the point where they could fight this progenitor who had taken their child as his vessel, which led to a battle that destroyed the prowler he was piloting, in addition to T'Challa disappearing. And when this comes back, we pick up with a conversation between the progenitor and T'Challa, with him telling T'Challa, "You are determined. You destroyed the boy, but not us. I brought you here to bend you down." And even with T'Challa out of his comfort zone, he's over here like, "Hey, ain't nobody bending me." So he tells him, "I did not come to kneel." And the progenitor's like, "No one does." And you can tell just based off of that, he's brought T'Challa here because he needs something. And just to give a bit more context, T'Challa's in their territory now. But even still, we get another voice here saying, "Falling without impact. The king hears his breath and knows it does not belong to air. This is the place above all places, the cosmos, an audience with the eternal." And we'll find out who this other person is in a moment. But the main thing to focus on here is with T'Challa being out of his depth in a way, T'Challa still understands negotiations. So he can tell when someone's trying to sound more powerful than what they are. And more importantly, when someone's trying to make demands from a position of desperation. Because next they tell him, "Vibranium lives with our consciousness. It is not a metal, it's a seed. And it will grow. You can slow us, you cannot stop us." So T'Challa tells him, "I will stand against you, my kingdom, and my gods." And that's where they're like, "You're vast. And how do you know this goddess doesn't already belong to us? How do you know your goddess isn't mastered by us?" So T'Challa tells him, "Because if you had that power, Earth would already be yours. I'm here with you, and I'm alive. So you need me. Your abomination failed, so you need me to be your gateway." And that in itself leaves Big Man speechless. So T'Challa continues, with him asking, "Why? Is your world dying? Have you planted your seeds across the galaxy because you need an exodus? And if you have a need of me, then in this moment, we are equals." Because again, T'Challa's not just going to go along with the strong arm tactic because he's picking up what's not being said directly. And when it comes down to it, T'Challa understands this is a negotiation between two leaders who are really just trying to protect their own. And he's already proved that he's willing to die to do so. But in the middle of this, T'Challa hears that voice that we were talking about earlier, with it saying, "Keep him talking, T'Challa, and don't let him know you can hear me. I'm almost with you. Keep it up. I'm impressed." And at this point, T'Challa has the progenitor in negotiation mode. So he's able to buy some more time here, because next he asks T'Challa what does he want. So T'Challa's like, "Peace through strength," only for the progenitor to ask him, "And if we don't want peace?" Which is one thing that we knew about this race ever since Killmonger and T'Challa uncovered the secrets of them visiting Earth before, because it had always been the progenitor's plans to take over. Even years back when they promised people power, which they would have had, but the progenitors would have been in complete control. And right now, T'Challa hears the voice telling him, "I'm right behind you, King." So he just continues the negotiation like nothing's going on, with him saying, "Khonshu and Ra failed you, the Voodoo Khan failed you, your bastard failed you. I think your people and your world are withering. I sense fear in you. You're not a god race, you just have time. Ancients, that's all you are. Colonizers." And this is where the voice who's been telling T'Challa to stall, it's like, okay, I gotta be slick. I don't think he can see me. As it reaches out for T'Challa and he's like, "Hey, I don't have forever." And at this point, the progenitor sees what's going on because someone's trying to get T'Challa out of here. And fortunately, they're able to snatch him up and get him back to Earth without too much trouble. But this is where we find out the person who's been helping, it's Anan, the Sorceress Supreme. And right away she tells him, "I've seen cool under pressure before, but being dragged into a cosmic astral plane and arguing with the thing waiting for you there, impressive." And of course T'Challa's like, "Anan, you're not dead?" And she tells him, "I am the Sorcerer Supreme. I can separate my consciousness from my mortal form, just in case a cosmic being wants to take a pal into another dimension and glow. I'll get this nobody thing worked out soon." Which right there has me thinking of some of her previous conversations with Killmonger. But then when she asks T'Challa if he's settled things with the ancient alien godman, he tells her no, but he knows what to do. So he goes on saying here, "Once I believed the crown could protect a nation. Now I know only a people can. We have bled, we have erred. We have lived through the arrogance of isolation, and we have learned what our enemies never will. Vibranium does not make us strong. Purpose makes us strong, but we were never made for fear or isolation." And that's when he goes on to tell Okoye and Killmonger more of what he's learned. And he lets Anan know he's going to share these secrets that his father kept. And this all flows into a speech where he's sharing everything with the people of Wakanda to prepare their nation for a change, because they need to open up to the world and the world needs them. And he doesn't sugarcoat it. He tells them about the threat of the progenitors and everything, because regardless of how things have been before, if Wakanda and the world are going to make it, Wakanda has to lead the way into a new age. And he continues here saying, but we were never made for fear or isolation. We are not safe, my people. Neither is the world, but we have time to prepare. Today, Wakanda will join the world. With our knowledge and our power, we are no longer a kingdom in isolation. We will not ask the world for permission to lead. We will lead by making the world safer. Power shared is power multiplied. The progenitors will return to test our borders and our souls. Let them. We have learned the shape of their hunger. We have survived kings and colonizers, found new brothers as they fight their own wars. When we see drought, we will bring rain. The new Wakandan age has begun. We will send our hands to lift, our minds to teach, our hearts to mend, and we will forgive ourselves for the mistakes we have made. To our neighbors, we offer alliance without ownership, prosperity without plunder. We are not colonizers. We will master the Vibranium in Wakanda. With the same will, I master the Vibranium in my blood. And now this is what goes into the explanation of why T'Challa has but so much time. Because when the progenitors were using Khonshu and Ra, they were physically preparing T'Challa to procreate the ultimate vessel. But when Ba stepped in, she reframed all of this into being a part of his purpose, with everything setting up T'Challa to evolve so he can do and be what his bloodline never could have before. But even that's not guaranteed, because the same advantage he has flowing through his blood, it could easily work to the advantage of the progenitors as well. So as the Vibranium progresses within him, and he's not able to master it, then T'Challa could become the very thing he seeks to destroy. So there's a bit of a race against time going on here. But throughout this, we then go to a brief but very important conversation between T'Challa and Okoye, where she tells him it's woven into you, progressing. So he tells her, I have enough time, Okoye. But the truth is, that's not guaranteed. And much like how Okoye became his wife, the queen, because of tradition and her duty, before T'Challa dies, he needs to produce an heir. So next she tells him here, I have not forgotten your time with Ororo, but I understand. Our marriage is tradition, always has been, but the tradition does have a purpose, T'Challa. Wakanda needs an heir, a real heir. And now throughout this series, there's been moments where it's been hinted to us as far as the reasons why Okoye and T'Challa never had a child, whether it was because of the prophecy or Matron Amala making sure that they didn't. But regardless of what the true reasons are, if things go left and T'Challa ends up dying, then he needs to leave the throne to someone. But given everything that's going on now, if T'Challa has a kid, then he'll be passing down the same Vibranium blood burden that he has now to them. And the threat that they're facing will never end. But the speech continues with T'Challa saying, let the world tune to us. My father spoke of glory and permanence the morning he died in front of you. I cannot promise permanence. No man can. I promise resistance. There are forces in this world just as antagonistic as the forces we know are beyond it. They will come for us. They will come for me. But I will only kneel to the great mysteries that guide me. Our kingdom will have seats around the world, to all descended from us, to all that have never known us. We will teach them what they deserve and help them claim what they are owed. We are reparations. We are justice. We may not be permanent, but Wakanda is forever. Wakanda forever. And after hearing this speech, all of Wakanda is excited, and even the whole continent of Africa at this point. But even with how positive this change could be, there are a few things that still need to be handled. And the first is Wakanda putting in the work to make this happen. And secondly, there's T'Challa racing against time to deal with the Vibranium in his blood. So he has work to do on a personal level. But the third issue, this goes back to the North American Union. Because the way they see it, this is Wakanda taking power from them, and money as well, with Wakanda providing energy and resources that they can't take a piece of. And this isn't the first time we've seen the North American Union cut deals with places like Nigeria, for example, like when they were trying to get their hands on dark vibranium. So for them to have their underhand methods made useless by Wakanda, who's now helping their whole continent and the world without asking for anything in return, this now creates a problem. And we find out that their strategy is basically the same that it was under the leadership of Nick Fury when they used a number of tactics to go after the Ultimates, as well as other countries and their leaders, with things like media narratives or putting pressure on resources. So at first they say here that they're going to go for the same method they've done before, but if need be, they're going to go back to vibranium acquisition, though I imagine this time on a much more aggressive scale. And one of these guys is like, we can't hand the world to people the color of mud. Where would that leave us? The Makers Council is falling, but a European alliance should still be easy. Common interest. Then he's like, Wakanda forever. King T'Challa, you don't have that much time. So yeah, even with the Makers Council out of the way, so to speak, T'Challa has now made himself and Wakanda a target for the world governments. And after this, we head to a conversation between T'Challa and Eric, where T'Challa leads by asking Eric if he can trust him. And Eric tells him always. And this is where T'Challa says, "I'm telling a lie to Wakanda, to Africa, a lie that both need to believe, the lie of time. My bloodline is corrupt, Eric. This blade taught me that. The cosmic forces that came to rule, I'm tied to them. And there is nothing I can do about that. It is simply a matter of time. I will have no heirs. Okoye and I have spoken of it. I will make my mission to expand Wakanda, to reshape Africa itself. I will make what we are have meaning, but I will not defeat what resides in me. I still hear them, feel them, their consciousness. I hear whispers in the walls of Wakanda." And he asks Eric if he understands, and Eric says, "I do." And T'Challa continues saying, "You are brave, Eric, brave enough to protect what we build when our enemies come to destroy us. And I will lead us as long as I am able. But I need you to promise me something, on your word, when I ask you, and I will. Promise me you will kill me, end my bloodline, take my throne, start this anew, for Wakanda. Will you promise me?" And Eric responds saying, "Wakanda forever." So yeah, with T'Challa racing against the clock and basically making preparations for his own death, this has now created a number of other problems that are only going to make that race against time more difficult. So yeah, with that said, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments if you think there's even a chance of T'Challa getting a happy ending, or even anything remotely close to it. Because to me, there's a few parts in this series that just feel like a blueprint of how to recast T'Challa for the MCU. Because we're getting a lot of moments in Ultimate Black Panther that are either about the throne being taken, handed over, or passed down. But let me know what you guys think. And so now real quick, I want to give a special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you guys for all of your support. And for anyone who's new here, who wants more information on how to support the channel, I got a link below where you can go to patreon.com/dopespill. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and we'll do it again on the next one. Alright, later.